Hello, everybody. This is Samantha and Zessie.
It's your boy, Ramoy George Phillip, the first.
And this is Masculinity. Welcome back.
Yeah, we out here just making stuff, man. We out here at festivals, just showing shows we make and movies we make. We just out here making stuff.
You mean we're out here getting awards? And by we, I mean Ramoy.
Hey,
Ramoy got 2 awards. How did you get 2 awards in 1 week? Don't lie. You got 2 awards.
2
Other
projects,
colors,
2
guys,
awards.
Other colors and Hurdle. Hurdle's going to be at a festival in Seattle if anybody wants to go stateside.
Yeah, there's a Boston one coming up soon as well. There's a lot of Hurdle festivals coming up real soon. So
and
check
yet,
it out. Peep it.
Ramoy still hasn't sent me the email, so that's cool.
That's fine.
Whatever. Anyway, but congratulations, yo. Very amazing to see you doing your
thing. Thank you.
Yeah, Other Colors is lit. It has a lot of really beautiful colors. That was a bad joke. Okay. All right, you guys. So we are continuing with our relationships module. So we're having the conversation because it's kind of become clear that what we've come to understand as the traits that we associate with what a real man is, quote unquote, is actually not as helpful as we once thought. So, I mean, when we say that, specifically what we mean is just that the mask of masculinity, the performance of masculinity, may actually be more constraining than it is empowering. And so we're having this conversation, like, let's just say, with the caveat that, honestly, not just males or men identify as masculine, right? Like, there's actually, like, the gender spectrum allows for different people to express or identify as masculine, and that this conversation extends to anyone who unknowingly performs masculinity to perhaps fulfill on a preset expectation of how or who they should be rather than who they really are.
And yeah, so we see that in the conversation we had with Robert Kendall and how it was critical because it allowed for us to expose like the benefits of shedding said mask when it comes to relationships.
Yep.
We explored what it would be like for men to express themselves freely and how much more connected their relationships would be as a result.
There are actually a lot of parallels with the Zat Baraka conversation. So, you know, in the first module, we had Zat Baraka on to talk about sex and the way that the performance of masculinity impacts sex and sexual relationships. And so I think that when, you know, we really talked about people's sex lives being limited by stoicism and shame, kind of like that, like emotional constraint or just in general, just constraint, and how rewarding it actually is to break out of it.
I mean, that sounds pretty damn amazing, right?
I know.
All right.
I know.
And being able to shed like the mask or this performance of masculinity requires some unveiling. Those conversations that peel back the layers of what we've come to understand as the right way to be a man or the right way to be a father, son, partner, brother, etc. And understand if within that prescription there is room for vulnerability to be free to be whomever you are.
Exactly. And so we're going to do just that today. So we've got some mini field study participants here to help us understand their own experiences.
We got another swisher here.
I know. We got
multiple swishers.
I know.
I mean, there's a full room of them.
Yeah, we'll talk about that soon, Arnold. Okay, so when it comes to masculine relationships, so you guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm not editing it out. I'm leaving my English accent in. I don't care who knows and I don't care who sees, okay? So welcome to the both of you. Thank you so much for coming.
So my name is Dominykas Milk. I'm originally from Lithuania. Came to the United States in 2006. My profession is I play basketball in Europe, so I'm a professional basketball player.
My name is Arnold Jackson. Born and raised in Brooklyn. Currently live in Brooklyn till I die. I do a number of things. I work for the city. I do real estate part-time. I'm a full-time student, and I'm a part-time actor as well.
Based on just like your history, your own growth, all of those things, like what would you say is expected from a man in a relationship?
So me growing up, I grew up in Eastern Europe, Lithuania, right? The partner has to be, the provider, doesn't have to talk, doesn't have to be emotionally available to a woman, and a woman's supposed to be home and kind of cooking, cleaning type of thing. And then he has to be strong one, as well as make most of the money and work all the time. And the reason he doesn't, hang out with the kids or the wife because he's working and making all this money. But now I think the mold has has changing now due to people, you start seeing more people of that mindset, more men go into, alcoholism, drugs, and a lot of families, a lot of abuse happens because of that. Oh, don't talk to me like that. I work. That's why I'm able to, be physical with you. And I think that should be frowned upon. I think now that the time has changed, men have to become more like, able to talk and express their feelings. And a lot of people that want to make a lot of money for their family, they say, oh, I'm doing this for the family, but they miss their kids growing up. And then when they're dying, when whatever happens, oh, I should have been, talking more to my kids. When it comes down to the end, it's more about not the money you made. It's not about the how hard you worked. Is about the relationships and experiences you had with your loved ones. That's what makes sense to me. And
today's masculinity has to be more balanced with the thought process that it is possible for the woman to make more money than a man. It is possible for actually the woman to be the breadwinner and the man to be taking care of the kids. It might have to be that way because we are a team. This unit has to win. If you're the star player, I need to play my role in. And then who knows when it might turn around to where now I'm the star player and you need to play the role. But we're a unit and we're a team.
And yes, a man should be, head of family and do whatever he can, but at what cost? If the cost is his own mental health, if the cost is, when he goes home, he starts drinking, he drinks half a bottle, wakes up in the morning, goes to work again, and then day in, day out, he drinks and becomes alcoholic. I think that's not worth all the money you can make.
I think with expectations, a man needs to have a set of rules and values and their own code of ethics. And your expectations should be for you to abide by your own codes and ethics. When you meet a woman that falls in line with your codes and ethics, the way that you move, then a relationship, I believe, could grow. Now, if I go against that code, then I could be liable to break other codes that I have. So I need to stick by the script that I lay out for myself, my own codes and ethics and rules for governing my own conduct. And then I proceed to find a woman and cast my net. You know what I'm saying? And seek a relationship. If I don't have my own rules, codes, and ethics, then that's a chaotic person.
Can a masculine person be strong and still be vulnerable and show emotion? Do you think your feminine partners believe that and acknowledge that and allow that to be true?
I believe today's masculinity has to be more balanced with, you need to be masculine and take charge in different things, but it becomes toxic when it's just too much. I think the more emotional thing, I think today's masculinity is expected to be more in touch with emotion and your emotional state. So like everybody has been through trauma. The masking of that, we spoke about that earlier before we started the show, is can be a toxic thing in itself.
I think being emotional, there's like levels to being emotional. I feel, you get a no and you go to the corner and cry and be upset about it. That's too emotional. But a masculine person, to me, if I'm masculine, right, and I have something's going on, I'm emotional, and if I bottle everything in, eventually it's like, having a soda, like a soda. If you keep shaking a soda and then you open, eventually it's gonna explode, right?
I think being emotional is a vulnerable thing, but why should that be frowned upon in the scope of a relationship? You get to a certain level in the relationship, all things should be accepted of the person. Vulnerability, why not? I don't see the wrongness in that. So I call myself a man's man. I'm a masculine man. I don't feel that that's a weak thing to show a vulnerability, vulnerability through me being and showing my emotions and being emotional. I don't think that's a negative thing. And if I have a significant other that believes that's a negative thing, then we might not be able to we may not be able to work out.
When you're emotional, you express it. It helps you to not explode.
Yeah. I think that it's spoke about but not practiced. I hear a lot of women say, "Oh, we want men to be vulnerable and we want them to be emotional," and then the dude cries, and then next thing you know, it's like y'all get into some argument. Then they're like, "Oh, you punk," like so, and then they'll be on the phone with their girlfriends, like, "Yeah, this dude was crying, acting like a little punk." You know what I mean? Like, so I don't think it's practiced. I think it's spoke about, but not fully practiced on the overall scale. Now, individual basis, it may be, you'll find a woman here too that will say it and they're down with that. But I think it's more spoke about, but not put into action.
I think women now becoming more understanding of that. Some of them are still, no, you got to be a man. You can't do that. Like, yeah, but if I'm hurt inside, you want me finding the relief somewhere else, go somewhere else, and that's where. I know a lot of men, like, they cannot, like, they don't believe they can be emotional with their partner sometimes. And that's where they go to escorts. That's where they go to buy. And sometimes they're not even buying, sex. They buying conversation. And that's why, to me, honesty and communication is very important. Because if you're hurting, we're a unit. When you're down, I'm down. I'm here to pick you up. I'm here to help you to go back up, to reach that goal, whatever our championship goal is. And when I'm down, I expect you to do the exact same thing for me.
What makes a good relationship?
To me, most important thing is honesty. Just be honest with your partner, communicate, keep everything, 100% honest, and I think that will work.
Relationships, you grow over time. I would agree with Don where honesty needs to be laid out flat from the beginning. So I'm physically attracted, and then I begin what I call the vetting process, where I figure where your head is at. We're going to, maybe go out for some coffee or tea, maybe some ice cream, and we're going to chop it up. Like, not always necessarily like a drink for the first date, because I don't want your brain to even be anywhere different. I want to know, and I want you to know, where we're both coming from.
I think, to me, I learned it through my own experiences and through other people's experiences. So, when you're growing up, you have your first crush, you have your first relationship, and, you see, most of them go wrong somewhere, and you kind of trying to learn, I think. And then I also observe other people, like, what went wrong with your relationship? And people are like, yeah, he wasn't telling me things, she wasn't, hiding stuff. And I think that's honesty, communication. And to me, personally, it was my own experience and other people, so learning from other people's mistakes, or maybe some people, success stories.
For me, it came over time, like, because I didn't have a vetting process all the time. Like, it was just straight, I like you, and let's get it in. You know what I'm saying? Like, it took some time. But I'm like a tailor. There's room for the sleeves to come out a little bit. There's room for the collar to come out a little bit. I might gain a little weight. Like, I might work out. I might start hitting some protein powder, and I might just get a little bit bigger over here. So I allow a little bit of room for growth, but not too much out of my lane that I set forth and the parameters I set forth for myself. So if I see things going a little bit outside the parameters that I feel things should be going, we're gonna have to sit down and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And then I think the compromise can come, or has the ability to come, through conversation.
What do you expect of a partner, and what do you think, like, as a masculine partner in a relationship, like the masculine half of a relationship, like society has, like, kind of the message that you should be getting in a relationship?
To me, I kind of expect to attract like-minded women. I'm a heterosexual man, so I expect to attract women that are like that. I expect that my partner should know how to carry themselves, how to be all woman in their own womanly way. That's what I expect. Like,
you're expecting them to have their own codes and ethics that they abide by, but they got to fit with yours. And I get that to like on a compatibility level. There's an undertone in how you're describing of like, there's a way that you have to be pleased in a way. Like there's something that needs to be accommodating you about a partner. What I didn't hear in the way that you were saying that you were going to contribute to your partner is the way that you would be accommodating them. Like there's like a kind of like a way in which your code of ethics is kind of painting this picture of like, well, this is what's going on and this is what I'm doing. And if you're going to come into my fold, we're going to do this.
You're right in a certain instance, because I feel like it's everybody's world. And like the way our human experience is, this is like a camera. You're the star of the movie. Everybody else is a side player. That's how I strongly feel. Now, with a compatibility is that with my significant other, I expect them to believe that they're the star player in their world. They have a code of ethics. We're compatible because we think on those terms. When the relationships reach different levels, dialogue has to happen. And open lines of communication, so to speak. So I don't feel I live a my way or the highway, but I do feel strongly in my belief system in the way I interpret life.
When I was growing up, you listen to, I listen to hip hop music, to rap. You hear about guys getting off having as many girls as you can. You're the man. But vice versa, woman that has, many guys, oh, she's a slut, she's this. And I think luckily for us as people, our generation, it's becoming like a sexual, like a freedom. It's getting better. I'm not saying it's solved. For example, my parents, Eastern Europe, born in the Soviet Union, my mom said there were no such thing as sex. Babies just appeared. Nobody spoke about sex. They will go watch Western movies. They will smuggle VHS tapes from USA and watch, and you're like, oh, there's a sex scene. Oh my God, this is crazy. And I think we getting better at, as a generation, our generation. So to me personally, it's important that my partner is enjoying sex as much as I am.
All right, well, it sounds like the key to an amazing relationship is communication. It's communication, and it's more communication.
God damn it, I fucking hate it.
I know. We talked about that actually very recently in a very recent episode.
Talk of substance.
I don't even know how to talk, man.
Well, apparently you do somewhat. So anyway.
The ironies of life.
Yeah, so you guys, thank you for coming. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences and your perspectives, and definitely spread the word on this conversation. Have that kind of conversation with your friends. Let's talk more about masculinity and expectations on men. And for you guys listening, thank you so much for joining us back this week. You can find us at Masculinity Pod on all platforms except for Facebook, Masculinity Podcast for some reason, with a K as well. Again, shout out again to Ramoy. Major congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, all right. So once again, my name is Samantha Nzesi.
It's your boy Ramoy George Phillip, the first.
And this has been Masculinity. Thank you for listening.
Peace.
Ciao.